Hi, people. Just checking who's out there. Let's see who's out there. Haven't a clue. Ah, there we are. Hello. Hi. All right. I actually talked about this on Facebook the other night. I just go into a rant and off it came about the Ascension Path. It's really difficult to try and put it into one video. Or 60 seconds or 3 minutes. You can't put it into a small video on TikTok. It's just too much of a subject to cover. Many people are on this journey. Many souls and many humans are waking up. But no one's there to guide us. We don't have, like the old days, we don't have a priest, a priestess, a guru, a yogi, a teacher. This used to be selected knowledge. So few of the chosen ones were selected and they were guided like Buddhas. Like the Buddha, it takes years and you have a Buddha assigned to you and you go up and a teacher. And when they think you are ready for that next level, sorry people, as you know, I'm still not well. And my voice is going, as you can hear, it's a bit dodgy. So there we are. And I just finished my second meditation. So I thought this is a good subject and something actually so many people are seeking the answers to, because they're on this path and they're all on different levels. And we don't have, we all haven't got our own Buddha, our own, to guide us, our own yogi, our own guru, our own, this is a thing. You are just thrown out there. So the entire planet, or the ones consciously choosing the Ascension Path or whatever, well, all of a sudden, your consciousness is rising and you're going through all these levels of stages, especially if you've had a Kundalini awakening. Oh, that shoots you straight up because that is actually your consciousness. So now we don't know, you haven't, if like me, what happened to me, as most of it happens to hundreds of thousands of you out there, you just shot into the astral, into the unknown, unseen world, right? Your consciousness, you wake up. And you have all these abilities, and you just like, oh my gosh, there's a whole nother dimension and dimensions, and oh my gosh, existence, and wow. It's a process though. And no one really talks about the entire process. I've noticed that actually, and I thought, that's true. People have often asked, like the other day I got a comment, I got a comment the other day from someone to ask about, I've just started, I'm a beginner. Now we passed that stage a while ago. But like, how do I raise my frequency and vibration? There's so many things, a lot of things to get into, right? A lot. And I'll try and do them. I'm actually trying to find someone that can help me, someone that's IT savvy, that can help me with my Zoom, to get the Zoom thing onto my PC so I can start these live interviews. Hi, how are you? Oh, good. I hope it's a lovely day in Texas. It was a nice morning here, but it didn't turn out. It's overcast and cold. It's still very cold here in the UK. Wow. It's very cold. So yes, Texas is so much better, warmer. And you've got a wonderful Buddhist center there. Really, really a very good guy actually in that Buddhist center there. Wow. Very enlightened man. On the path you can see. Yes, it's just cold. Yeah, it's going to flower. Yeah. It was sick. Yeah, it was sick. Shame. I got it. I rescue a lot of plants. Anyway, yeah. I don't know the name. I think it's the Texas Houston Buddhist Vietnamese Buddhist center or temple. It's very big actually, and he's actually on TikTok. I follow him. Very nice man. Very light. You can see he's glowing. Anyway, so let me get back to the subject so I don't get off trail. So many young people, right, or all ages actually, you look at me, I'm not young, woke up and, there's no, you just wake up, you just have a Kundalini awakening or, whatever. If you are maybe purposely or not consciously or whatever happens to you, you start waking up. And your first journey depends if you realize when you look back. I think a lot of us started in 212 when the energy changed, so your whole life might just fall apart. You don't know why. You might think it's the worst thing that ever happened to you, and starts happening to you. And then you start looking for the darkness. Wow, you start not, okay, you realize this is not, like you see, the truther movement or the red pill movement, okay, that's not exponential, but that's how you start. You start looking at the shadows and the darkness and, oh my gosh, you see, and not trusting and suspicion. This is the ego. You start shedding, you start raising in consciousness, right? So you start that seeking, you start, oh my gosh, you start seeking the dark, boy, big time. That's your first on the spiritual, as you raise to a certain level, right? You'll start seeking truth here, and you'll start seeking, you'll see justice and honesty and integrity and all those kind of 3D things, right? And then you hit well, depends on the person. If you're consciously doing it, you're seeking to ascend, or you think you want salvation because you're frightened it's the end of times. Whatever path you got onto, once you activated that journey, the consciousness, the light, the ascension in the physical, well, you're on your path, right? Yeah. Yes. Yeah, we've had some serious energies coming in for about a week, yeah, no. Oh, lovely. Yeah. You see, exactly. It also depends. Not only that, remember, because you must. It's besides that. You've got to remember that it's your soul's journey. So you chose those family. It's your karma. You had obviously done so much work and whatever. So this is what that you've picked for this. You picked them. You all anyway. So let's go there. Let's just start with the thing. So you'll start off. This is what's going on. We call the collective shadow work. Paranoia, fear, anger. You start looking. You're lynching. Oh my gosh, who's the dark? They're the bad. There's the evil. You start hunting for the dark or the devil, or whatever you think it is out there, right? You're going to start. That's your base level. And if you're actively working through this and you've got your Kundalini, you're going to have to now go through that level. So we call that, I don't know what the gurus call it. I'm saying this is the public here. These are the poor public. Everybody else out there, the normal person, the normal Joe, Joanne, whatever out there, that's just had a awakening, right? The mass awakening or the great shift in consciousness. The planet's going through it. So a lot of you are going through it. We don't have the luxury of a guru. You maybe haven't studied, yogis and all these sort of things. So you really got to just find your way through it. Yeah, it's the healing and clearing. A lot of it. It's a journey, right? So you start like with your intentions because you're frightened to heal, like to forgiveness. So you start forgiving all of those that you've harmed in this life and ask them, and you start that whole thing. Past forgiveness or whatever. So you've had your activation, your Kundalini activation, purposely or not, and there's many out there now. So many people telling you how to do it, so it's easy to do. If you look for it, if you seek it, you'll find it, right? So then you're going to start seeing the unseen. The rest of the public are hunting for the bad guys. They haven't a bloody clue where they are because they're not at that level of consciousness yet. They just think, oh, there's dark, there's evil, the bad guys. They don't realize it's a bit more that meets the eye, okay? But if you start waking up, you are now able to see the unseen. Which is not always, as I say, we don't always talk about all the good and bad. You've got to go through it. There's stages and there are tests you go through. Hi, thanks, I'm sick. As you can hear the voices, the voice is failing for about a week. It's just like, it's nothing really, it's like a mild flu. I can't say it's bad, It's the first time I've been ill in 3 years because I did a 3D, as I say, and I'm going through a lot at the moment. So people, let's get back to subject. I'll get back to your questions. If you can just wait for me to get so people can hear, and then we can answer some questions a bit later. So you will start initially looking for the dark and the dark people and the demons outside, right? Oh, them, the ETs, it's got to be the devil, it's got to be something, and someone's manifest, whatever. And you will now start seeing these things, okay, which people call the dark night of the soul, the death of the ego, the shadow work, whatever it is. This is when you start now physically having to fight your shadows, your demons, facing them or fighting them. Right. So they'll manifest, whether it's, who knows, all kinds of fatty forms. It's an ET thing, a negative ET, depending on your dreams and previous lives and akashas, right? So maybe you're going to start fighting in your astral or in your third eye, what you will see as a Draco reptilian, or you will see it as a jinn or a possession, a human, another, you're going to think someone else has possessed you, another being, another person, another, whatever. All of these things can manifest because it depends what's unresolved in your consciousness and your energy. You've had many lives and many incarnations and many games you've played, right? Yes, when I'm finished. So you've got many, all of these lives you've been through. So these will pop up, right? And you're going to think, oh my gosh, I'm being attacked, because you're in your early stages. You haven't claimed your sovereignty. You don't realize what you give power to. If you fear it, you giving it power. You saying, oh, well, you can do something to me because, I'm just some silly human. This is your early stages. So you're going to shit yourself, basically. We've all been there. You're going to be looking for the dark, and your mind is on it, and you're going to be thinking of it, and all your manifestations, fears. So all your fears, dark things, are manifested into something. So whether you're going to see, I described some of it. I went through on my YouTube channel. I talked about the demonic realm, and I think I linked some of the videos below. And then we actually also, so then it's going to be you, the angels and demons. So you, the light, are going to be fighting these dark things. So you're going to go through these stages, right? First, you're going to have these things, and you're going to have to figure out, how to get rid of them. So you're going to think, this thing's attacking you or whatever it is, and you're going to have to figure out, okay, you got to learn to, no, that hasn't got power over me. It's your fears, it's your whatever, they manifest. So you've got to fight these things. You've got to overcome that to rise above it, to learn, actually, no, you have the power. Light. It's clearing. So darkness clearing out of you, out of your chakras and energies, all dark, dense energy that you've hung on to. See, over who knows, whatever. And then your cash. What you also got to understand is, as you start waking up, as the physical vessel is as well, the DNA things, that's where your cash is stored. So you are going to start seeing flashbacks and things of past lives and these things. So a lot of the stuff that you see is past lives and other, so you're going to be in the astral, you're going to see these things, you're going to think is everything happens is only the now. So it's like, say, there's millions of dreams happening at once, billions, right? And you've played before maybe a Lyrian, a reptilian, a flippin', who knows, whatever, before human. Never mind humans. These things are going to start popping up, and they're going to come back to you, because as your DNA, your cache is activated, right? It's stored. It's going to start coming as your consciousness. So all of a sudden, that's what I'm saying. It can be a bumpy ride, because now you start seeing, oh my gosh, negative battles. Maybe you're remembering now a battle you had as a Lyrian and your planet was wiped out, or you're fighting the bloody, trust me, we've been there. And you go back to that because you're in that time. And then your guides as well change, because your guides are you. People don't realize that a lot of your guides are actually you. It's only you. Coming back from past, present, future. So they were you. You'll figure that out down the line. So you'll start seeing these beings. Some of them might be human or not human. Your so-called guides. Okay, you got to find out if they're your guides. So all of these things start happening to someone that has no freaking clue. Has never been involved in this, in esoteric school, studied, heard anything either. So all of a sudden he's like, holy shit, what is going on here? Because all you know maybe as an average Western human is the Bible. Is Jesus in the dark, and you don't have no clue about any of this other stuff. So yeah, you can start seeing past. You can start going, well, it also depends. Remember, what you think of and what you focus on. So what you're thinking of, your mind is always thinking of and focusing on, that's what you're going to start seeing. That's exactly what's going to manifest, or you're going to start, astraling or whatever, going to that, because that's what you're focusing on it. You're creating it. So you are now looking for those answers. You might go back into our history too. A lot of people are obsessed about, the human history. Well, I don't know. But we did that. I went through that whole phase, and I went back, and I saw some seriously interesting things going back into our history, because we got this obsession. When you're waking up the ego, you've been lied to. Everyone's deceiving you. It was a dark plan. There's a dark agenda. You've got to get through all of that shit. So you start seeing, right, so you can go back to Earth history, and you think, oh my gosh, this is not what I know. And it's going to be different for all of you. You're going to start seeing life on other planets. You're going to start seeing dark things, whatever. So we got to get through this. You're going to have to learn to overcome what happens. So you're going to, psychic attack. Someone can attack me. You'll get through that one as well. Got to learn, no, nobody can. All these things, right? Because your fears. It's you fighting your fear. It's your ego. It's an illusion of a bloody fighting of everything. Everything's after it. It's a nightmare, that thing. That's the human, the I, that you identified as this body, this human, is terrified of everything. Paranoid and whatever. And it's got all the childhood trauma and all the nonsense in it, right? Anyway, but your soul hasn't. So those things start coming on. Oh my gosh, anyway. So you're going to have to fight what you will think are maybe psychic attacks, demonic attacks, beings attacking you, whatever nonsense. And then you're going to realize, whoopsie. So when you fear, because of course now, at that level you're holding fear. Yeah. You're holding the fear, so you're going to shut you. So of course you're drawing it to you because you're in a low, dark, dense energy, frequency, and vibration. You are still here on the lower chakras, so you are vibrating and seeing and feeling it. So you're drawing this to you. So you're staying in this dark, dense thing and blah, 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 blah. So you have to realize, no, nothing has power over me, and then you will find, poof, all that disappears. You don't have any more beings, and if they do try, they appear and try and climb in you, what you think you can see them, whatever you think in the body, you tell them to bugger off. So you've got to go through those stages. And then we did fight. We had actually fights with a demonic realm, entire realm, where the realms collapsed. Some of us were fighting. So you are playing the angel, whatever else you're doing, whatever angel, whatever fractal. And then when you're finished, you get your wings. So if you get through that lower level, exactly. If you get through that lower level, what you will see in the esoteric is you will get your wings. A lot of people tell you, oh my gosh, I saw this. Okay, you will get what it looks like in the esoteric, a set of wings. Yeah. Yeah. So that's what, when you're on this level, that's what most people will do, depending on your culture and what it is. Yeah. So you will then get your set of wings. That means you have now overcome that, because now you don't fear any dark thing or entity, right? Because you realize it has no power over you. So all of that has gone out the window. So now you've overcome what we would call the dark, your fears, the demonic realm, all these negative things. And someone can psychically attack me. And if you keep believing that, well, as I say, what you believe will happen, because you're drawing it to you. So if you believe, it will keep happening to you, okay? If you believe someone can psychically do this or remember, what we forget is not logic, because you're in fear still. And you're facing your shadows and your consciousness, and you're cleaning out your chakras, you're rising in your chakras, that's all. And you're in the lower chakra, and you're resonating there, all right? So you're going to see all these bloody flippant things, which I did. I mean, hell, frightening shit that you go through, and wow. So that's all you do, right? Then you rise above it, and all that poof goes away. Because you are, every single one of you, fractals of source, and every single one of you is equal. No, none is more powerful or bigger or stronger than the other. It's only what you perceive and you believe, because you are actually the factor of creating this reality. You are a source, part of source. You are a creator. You are manifesting and creating even what you're seeing in the astral in your mind, because what you choose to believe is what you will be given, and what you choose to focus on or think or whatever. So I say, be careful. It's all learning curves, right? So welcome to the beginning. The beginning one is a bumpy one. Shit. Hell no. And it can scare the living shite out of you, depending on how much darkness you had and what was in your cache and whatever you'd done, manifested trauma, fears, whatever. So you can face some really nasty, dark things when you wake up. All right. This is the shadow. And this is what's being manipulated out in the public at the moment. There's a movement started, purely focusing and the devil, this sign, that. They're trying to manipulate the humans. Everybody waking up, they know you're going to start looking for the dark, the evil, the evil people, the Illuminati, the whatever. They know you're going to start doing this. So they've created a movement to manipulate and control your shadow work, or your awakening, or your demonic, this illusion thing when you wake up, this ego hunt. And and they are feeding you, ooh, those are the bad people, which is nonsense, because it keeps you looking outside. You will never clear it and find it. You won't raise up if you keep looking outside for the bad, the evil, the dark, instead of inside. It's preventing you from going within and realizing what you haven't cleared. you're gonna, you know what I mean? Yeah. So this is a bad thing about how it's being manipulated. This movement, this spiritual awakening is being hijacked. So this so-called truther movement and certain things in it is purposely focusing and targeting everybody, because they know you're going to go through the dark night of the soul of the shadow, and they are feeding you who the bad guys are and who, whatever. This is the scary thing, all right? People got to wake up to that one. But you'll wake up to that when you get to a higher level, when you've overcome your own darkness and you defeated all the demons, you've done the demonic realm, you've got your wings, and you go up, right? Then you're going to hit the ET thing mainly, right? Then you're going to be mainly your lowest one is your demons, devils, demonic nonsense, and whatever you think, right? All your other fears, whatever you believe, it's going to manifest however you see it and feel it. Okay, so ghosts, whatever. You will also learn as well, because you'll also think now people can attach, right? It's a practice, so you'll think other souls that maybe didn't leave will attach to you, and you'll play with it. Sometimes you allow it because you haven't said, you choose your reality and decide what can be in it and what can't be in it and what you believe and what you don't believe. So you just say, no, sorry, no one's allowed in. And when you're on that stage, you're going to be putting protection around you, left, right, and center, saging and and light and angels, and you're going to be putting, protection and spheres and this and that around me. When you're in that level, you still think you need protection, and you're going to be using a lot of protection, especially when you're on the lower thing. Because trust me, you're not, haven't got that strength or confidence yet. You're facing these attacks and these dark things. You're going to not feel confident. You're going to be calling in angels and asking for help and doing all kinds of, stuff. And you will, all right? So you do that in the beginning. And as you go up, you'll realize you don't, Well, anyway, it's interesting. It's interesting. But remember, what you put your attention and focus on, you're drawing in to your reality, into your astral, into your third eye, into your existence, okay? So be very, very careful what you put your attention on. So the more, if you want to keep focusing on it, well, you'll stay in that realm. You'll always be fighting the dark and the reptilians, and you'll never get out of it, because that's what you want and focusing. And some people, maybe they just came to do that. So literally, you will stay in that realm. You'll never rise above it, right? The whole attention is to raise here, okay? Not to stay there. You've got to get out of that one. Graduate, right? And then you're going to hit the ET thing. So then, look, it also depends on your Akash. Don't think that everyone is going to be the same, because depending on, you've all different fractals of source. As it would be very boring if we all experienced exactly the same thing. What's the point? All right? So billions of us, we all one collective unified consciousness or beings or energy. But at the moment we've fractured off, and we're seeing it and experiencing it all as individuals, as say, fractals, source, particles, consciousness, whatever you want to say. Okay. So every one of you is going to see it, experience it, feel it differently. That's the point. Otherwise, there's no point in playing this game. All right. So, and then it all goes back to the collective consciousness, which we share as one, as source. So we can tap into all that is, because you're all connected, actually. That's how we can tap in. What do they want to call the quantum field, the tangle? Because we actually are. We're all part of that one energy. We just, anyway. So no matter where you are on the planet, we can feel we're all connected. And this is what science is proving now, right? Okay, so now you're going to start going. You're going to be mainly focusing on the ET level. You're going to hit the ET level, which most people are stuck on. You hit the ET level, and then, because those are past dreams or filters or lives you've shared, right? And played either before, human. And then we dropped into play human, right? So you've run all kinds of shit. And don't think you're all going to be the same as well. So don't expect somebody else to have the same thing as you. Some of you will have soul families you remember, so yeah, some won't, some will. And you're going to see it differently. As I say, we all see it differently, because we chose to experience it differently in different perceptions and So you will then have this whole ET thing, and all those other things come on. And your normal things are there. You've raised, and so now you're going to get psychic abilities, healing, telepathic. You can play with what you want. You can do anything. This is what most people must understand. There's nothing. Your consciousness is able to achieve any height, limit, anything. You can communicate with trees, with everything has consciousness. Yeah, everything is consciousness and energy. That's the most fundamental thing you need to understand. Everything, the science is telling you now as well, this is a virtual reality. Everything is consciousness and energy. End of story. So you are connected to that one energy. That's how you can feel. They even show, they spit light atoms, and one feels it across wherever. All right. This is how you can tap in telepathically to the quantum, because we're all connected to that energy. It's energy. You're communicating via energy, really. To trees, to a rock, to another human, to a planet, to a ET, to Gaia, to Mars, to the stars, it's amazing what you can't. Animals. You can start practice. You can start talking to animals. Bloody awesome, actually. And it comes up like a picture, as I say, like whales do, or dolphins, holographically. So you can start communicating with, or knowing, you'll know this thing. It's like a picture, like you daydream, right? You can get through a picture, into who knows, intuition, the knowing, the voice, whatever. These are all things, okay? So go for it. Because all these abilities come online now as you raise in your consciousness. So don't limit yourself. And depending on you, as an individual fractal of the one energy of source, right? Depending on you and your past lives or whatever, your characteristic as that individual spark of source. So you might be drawn, you'll see, to, whatever, also depends on your Akashic record, what you are choosing to mine. You've had people, you've been alive since the beginning of time, because you are part of the Creator. So you just don't bloody remember. You were here before Earth was even created, right? So you have been everything and anything, and there at the beginning of creation. So you can choose to mine and tap into, it's depending on your level of consciousness and your light. That's how you can mine, and what you have to consciously activate. Okay, we forget, we have to ask as free will in this game. So I want to go up to this dimension. I want to activate more light. I want to raise the highest consciousness. I ask for it. What are you focusing on? What are you achieving? So some will reach higher than others, because others just think this is 5D and that's all it is. No. It's multi-dimensional. All the dimensions exist at once. There's no like, one dimension, this is linear. It's not like, they all exist at the same time, in the same space. Bloody weird when you see it. So ask for what you want, okay? So you'll see out there now, everybody's waking up, and some are doing Reiki, because depending on what they're tapping into and what they're mining, what their cash, what their DNA is woken up to, so they're remembering, right? Shaman roots, maybe you've been many lives as a shaman, we've all, what you don't realize is that you've all been kings, queens, rulers, peasants, slaves, men, women, bloody everything, aliens, or whatever. I mean, a bug, who knows, but you can't remember. Whatever you can manifest, think, there's no limit, you see. It's amazing. So this is where most people sit, okay? You get your light language. All it is, I've figured out what light language is us remembering languages. It's from Lemuria and stuff. These are languages and things, words we spoke. Some of them you'll understand. I've watched many people and I think, oh wow, that one I can totally resonate. And I'm like, and I can completely like tap in with that, and I'm stuck with it. So you'll see, you'll be drawn to different people's light languages. Some will resonate, some won't, because it's languages you are remembering from previous dreams or carnations, right? Whether it was Lemuria, Atlantis, and some of those, yeah. These are all things, okay? So all of these things will come on board. You can start. It's up to you. It also depends what you want and focusing on it. So some people, light language, or I want to do this, or sign, whatever. Some are doing frequencies. Some are, yeah. So you're going to all be bringing your own little individual assets and gifts in to help the great shift. That's why you're all on the planet, right? For a reason. So you're going to be working on frequencies, and this one's doing healing and whatever. We all part of Source. This is one big divine plan, which we all in on. Those that are still down in this dark realm don't realize that, and are paranoid and fear. Oh my gosh, everyone's controlling us. No. Even they are controlled, okay? Because you're all part of Source. This is a divine plan. Someone's playing a dark role, a light role, or whatever. It's for us to raise in consciousness. So we're all doing our part. Okay, some are working on frequency music. We're all moving up as we raise in consciousness to the new earth. We're going up in different stages and different levels and different speeds, and we're all bringing our little gifts and our things. Because we have free will, some people are limiting themselves, thinking, it's only 5D, I can only do this, or there's only... No. The sky's a limit. And just go on to TikTok and other things. You'll see people already playing with energy, moving. Especially young people that haven't come in with the programming and weren't trained, or you can't do that. People don't fly, and because now so you're going to believe that. It's so ingrained in your belief, you will not be able to do a lot of things like telepathically or move things or bend spoons, because you've been told you can't do it. And if you believe it, so it's a lot of reprogramming the mind. The new people are coming in with less veils. The energies are going with it. So the whole planet there's no stopping it. This is where we're going. We have chosen as collective energy, a source. There is only a source. Everything around you, all that is source. It's amazing. Amazing bloody energy. Yeah. Hi. So there we are. So a lot of people are, as you wake up, you shoot here and it looks bloody fun. So try not to get stuck there. If you identify, oh, I'm a Syrian, I'm a Lyrian, I'm a Arcturian. No, you were many of them. More than that, actually, you just got to remember. So a lot of people get stuck, oh, I'm a Syrian, and that's it. Now they want to play, but that's fine. Maybe that's what they chose too as well, to play Syrian. And so they wake up and I'm going to be a Syrian, and this is the game I'm playing now, for the Ascension. I'm going to tap into my Arcturian and whatever, because you're now channeling you, not your guide, you, which you think is your guide. That was you when you were an Arcturian. Yeah. And you can make whatever you want. And some are soul, family, deceased, yeah. So you will have others and not, anyway. Depends, you can talk to whatever and communicate, as I said, anything. And you are creating it and other beings that were existing. So you can tap in, talk, channel, whatever you bloody want. Pretty much, as I said. Human, not anything. Because there's only thing, energy and consciousness. So there we are. We got to learn that our consciousness controls our energy as well. Okay. So you hopefully will go above that and then start dismantling the ego, because the ego is the one that's you, like trying to identify, I'm a human. This is my body. No, you're not this. That's you. I'm a ET. I'm a whatever. No, you're actually not. But you got to get there. And the ego, as you go up, you'll see people that are on this journey. Hi, as you go on this journey, okay, you're going to see you will get different gifts as you complete a certain level. You will get like esoteric, and you'll be tested. Oh, don't think you're not going to. This is a free run, and you can just. Yes, you will have. If you've got your Kundalini going, you've got the divine grace. You've asked for it. You consciously doing it, you're seeking the help, so you will have that divine, if your heart is true and pure, so you have a pure heart, right? You're doing it for the highest and greatest good, from good intent, that divine grace, love, whatever. Oh my gosh, it'll help you. Oh wow, it so helps you. It's bloody amazing what it can do. So you've asked for divine grace, divine love. You have been first the one willing to forgive and do all those things, okay? That helps a lot. And not, I want, save me and bugger everybody else. No, that's not with a pure intent and pure heart, or whatever. It's intention, resonance, love, unconditional love, whatever. You want to help others, whatever you want to do, right? So anyway, you're going to get that. As I said, when you finish this fighting, those that are stop wasting your time and looking for the Rothschilds, anyone out there, right? When they start getting real and realizing, because that's what's as within, so without. So until everybody on this planet changes and gets rid of their own darkness and ego, well, you're going to see shit out there. This is the collective shadow. As a collective consciousness, this is the shit and perversity we manifested because it's within us. Greed, jealousy, all these things, right? Anyway, that's just what it is. And we're not going to see it disappear until we get rid of it, right? So this is why people don't realize, wasting your time following all these channels. You think you're going to remove a few people and Earth will be wonderful. We'll just put another leader in. Hello. You've not been paying attention to Earth's history then, have you? It will never change until we change. This is why the actual evolution is happening, the shift in consciousness, or Earth will just, we'll annihilate ourselves, whatever. Not the first time anyway, it's a game. So your first level, you will get your wings. So you finish that, you will get wings. Oh my gosh, you can get some serious, huge, bloody things. Wow, they're like massive wings. So you will then all of a sudden know and feel and see you've got your wings. So that's maybe your consciousness or your level's way of showing you, okay, you've overcome that. Okay. So you get that. You'll also be tested because some people they think it's all about the dark, and they will stay in this fighting the demons and the dark. That's it. This whole carnation actually, because it's all they want to do, and they think it's all they're there, and they haven't got rid of their own yet, so they haven't realized it's the ego. So they're just going to stay, and it's fun. It's it's just a game. So some people will spend their entire existence fighting the dark, right? You have a choice if you want to stay in duality. Them, the good and bad. No. You've got to go above that level. There isn't actually duality. That's still a low level. If you're believing there's duality, dark, light, good and bad, that's no. So if you choose that, you haven't fixed it yourself. You see, you haven't got there. So you realize. So then you're going to be still here fighting the good and the bad and the dark and there's us and them nonsense. All right. This is just how it works. You will be tested like I was. So I got my wings, and the next minute I was working with Archangel Michael. Everyone works with different. So this isn't my thing. That's how I was busy with. I worked with Michael, mostly. You do different ones, but I work with Michael a lot. And then what happened when I finished that, I was given, it was really strange because I had my wings and and we collapsed a realm. You actually saw a realm, and Jesus, a whole lot of souls being sucked. I saw the strangest things. Souls being sucked out, all the souls that didn't, that were on earth, that were buried, that were stuck here, they were all moved. Oh, wow, there were kinds of weird things I've seen. Wow, sure. So you see all these souls that were kind of stuck in this level of consciousness, right? They were stuck in this realm. They died here maybe a few hundred years ago, whenever they died, right? They'd never left Earth. They were stuck in darkness. They didn't believe the light. They didn't go to the light, whatever. So they're stuck in this realm, in this consciousness. They were like, that thing was collapsed. Anyway, all kinds of weird stuff. You can see some really interesting things when you go through this, wow, amazing, incredible stuff as a collective, what's going on as our collective dream or our collective whatever. You want to call this earth real, not, doesn't matter. It's a level, it's a dimension of consciousness, really. Okay. So then a sword appeared. So next minute, this massive sword came down. And I was like, and I'm just tired now because I've been fighting demons and demonic things and removing demonic realms and, bloody angelic battles and all kinds of nonsense, right? So next minute, a massive sword arrived. This huge, like, blue sword, like an Excalibur, but a serious bloody thing, heavy. This big sword came down to me. So I thought, oh my gosh, I'm being gifted now a sword to be like a fighter of the dark, whatever it was, I don't know, demon slayer, whatever, who knows. Because I had my wings already, and the sword came. Now, initially what I did, I made a video about this. I took the sword, because I didn't know. I didn't feel good about it, funny enough. You got to learn, there's another thing. You've got to learn to discern energy and things in the astral. In the beginning, you're quite naive, so you're not sure. Then you realize, but you'll go through that, same with the ET things. You'll see, I got attacked, right? Why? Because you're not discerning good and bad energy. See, you're not checking out. You're just like, off you go. There's a lot of lessons you learn on this journey. Wow, plenty. So, next minute, I got this sword gifted to me. Massive, big, huge sword came down in the astral, right? Ether, third eye thing. Looked like Archangel Michael's sword. And I was like, okay, well, I don't know what it was for, but thank you. So I'm thinking it's rude, not thinking, just going, that it's rude to turn something down. And I didn't know what the hell it was for, but it was given to me. So I'm like, okay, because I maybe, overcame all that, or who knows, I don't know, gift is, who knows, protection, who knows what the hell thing's for, right? But it was so heavy. And I didn't really want to. This is the thing. I'm tired. When you get to that stage, this is my soul choice. My soul choice was tired of fighting. I wanted peace, unity. I didn't want to fight anymore. Them, demons, anything. You had sympathy and compassion. You wanted to unite and help all beings, even the ones that are lost, right, in the darkness. So I was tired. I didn't want to fight anymore. I was not interested in fighting. This is yeah. So I basically I gave it back. Because when I took it on, I felt this incredible weight. It was like I was pinned down. So when I accepted it, it felt like a trap. It felt like I was actually pinned to the ground. So I was pinned in this dark dense in the head, and I thought, oh my gosh, this is a trap. So it was whatever. I got a bit frightened for a bit because you're still at that level of consciousness where you fear and you're still distrusting, and that's ego. You're still there. So it's something, there's a negative plan or whatever nonsense there. So your mind starts going, something's trying to trap me or do this to me or whatever. Anyway, so I felt this thing had pinned me down. So I was like, no thanks. And I remember it's free will. I gave it back. I said, look, thank you very much. I don't want to be rude, but I don't want this. I don't want to fight anymore. I'm tired of fighting. I want peace. I want to seek peace with all beings. Then I'm still seeing him as beings. So I wanted to see peace and unity among all beings. No fighting. So I gave it back. And when I gave it back, now I found when you're doing these visions and things and levels you're going through in the astral, you'll be tested, as you're plenty tested people. When you go through those levels, the demonic realms of this and that and all the other stuff, you'll be tested a lot. And then the ETs, you got to learn discernment and energy and this and no, whatever. And you get dragged back into your past dreams, and reliving them, whatever. So it's fun. So I gave that thing back, and then what you'll see, you'll wait 2 or 3 days, and then something else appears. So it was normally I've seen that. So 2 or so days later, I was given a star, like the Star of Bethlehem. Well, that was amazing. So next minute, this massive star came down. I was given this. It looked like a Star of Bethlehem. So what? Now, remember, we haven't got any teaching, training, gurus that told us any of this esoteric knowledge, secret, hidden knowledge, Buddha's level. We don't know. So, apparently the star, what I think we are doing, this is my perception, what I've figured out now, is that we're working through the levels of chakras. So whatever soul star chakra, whatever that was, I don't know. So I was given this, then the star appeared, and I had this huge big Star of Bethlehem thing. I thought, that's a much better gift than the bloody sword. I'm over that shit. So I was very glad I turned the sword down. If it was a test, I passed, and I got a star. It was lovely, wow. And then after that, I was given, what came into me in a meditation was like millions of stars came through my crown chakra and my every cell and everything in my body. It was like, those little lights you can get, LED lights for Christmas trees or little star lights, right? This is what happened. This light came in through my crown. I actually did a video and I shared it for everybody to do it, where you can illuminate all your cells. All right, you can light up every cell. So you're bringing in light into the physical vessel, or you're not bringing it in, but you are life from inside, source. So it activated every cell in my body. Next minute, every single cell in my body, from very dim lights, just went it's like someone switched a Christmas tree on, poof, and they just lit up. So this light came in, and my cells started getting lighter and lighter until they were fully illuminated. So all the cells in my body looked like millions of stars. It was amazing. Wow. So there was a illumination, another level of light, or whatever. Who knows? I don't know. But remember, all the time I'm seeking to raise in consciousness, dimension, DNA activation, consciously, all of these things, because I've been following a very quick awakening. Consciously sought to activate my DNA. Consciously sought to take in more light, to raise in frequency, vibration, the highest, hold as much light as possible. This was a conscious and willing and asking for it. So I was asking to hold as much light as possible, be light. Asking to raise in frequency, consciousness, this, that, seeking good always. So there was one. Trying to think what else happened. 2. Libba. Is it Libby or Libba? Sorry, my eyesight's really not so good. Libba. Well, happy birthday, Libba, if it is your birthday. Happy birthday. Bless you. So we'll send some blessings your way. There we are. That's for her. Send some incredible light energy, put around her. There we are. Love. Absolutely, yeah. So consciously, yeah, you sought to activate. You are so welcome. Hi. Well, happy birthday if it's you. Happy birthday. Wow, lovely. Glad you're here on the planet with us. You're here for a reason, like we all are, right? We're all playing this game. We were all chosen to. Okay, so let me get back to, I've lost what I was saying. It was the stars, the demonic realm, the wings, and then it was the sword, which I gave back. Clever choice. Some people didn't. Some people took the sword. Till this day, they're fighting. Oh, the dark, the demons, the devil. They're going to keep, they'll never give it. They're staying there. They haven't chosen to get out of that chakra. I was like, stuff this, I'm tired of fighting and hate and all this nonsense. Thank you. So I got that one. And then what was the next one? I'm trying to remember. Then you got a diamond. I don't know what the diamond. See, none of us had any of these bloody lessons. We got to wing it. We had to just wing it blindly. You're thrown into the poof like that. I had a so-called accidental Kundalini awakening. I was actually trying to, but I just activated the thing without a clue. And next minute, bam, anyway, I was on the journey, right? So then I got a diamond. A diamond appeared. Yeah, I know, weird. Then I got a beautiful diamond. Yeah, this diamond appeared. And anyway, then it was then you working with, it's all different levels and stages, purifying the vessel. It's cleaning the ego, or the vessel, shadow, whatever you want to call it. You'll learn and now now I start following those things, and I've listened to some very good teachers. Wow, learning a lot. It was interesting. So now okay, wow. You get an understanding, from now the wisdom or the knowledge. It's not. I wouldn't say knowledge is knowledge. Knowledge is not wisdom, though. It's a different human knowledge, history, whatever books. There's what was on this planet anyway. So then I got the diamond. I don't remember what the hell was for. And then you started working with them. It's different. And I was working with Gabriel, and it was more, as I say, lots of other things. Meditations came, and I shared them, and all kinds of information came through. I was pulling down lots of downloads and all kinds of stuff. And you keep going through these upgrades and downloads and more. Oh wow. It's a constant growth. It's constantly growing. It depends also what you are seeking. As I say, some people just sit here. They don't realize anything higher. So they get stuck at the ET level because they want to play, They decide, oh, no, I want to pretend I'm still an Octarian or whatever. Or whatever it is, you see. So we can choose. Absolutely choose and do whatever. And you can now channel, you can now play, your old Octarian self, whatever you want to be, yeah. It's up to you, right? So then what happened after that? Many things. I've shared many videos, stuff that came in, downloads, memory. As more DNA and more light and more consciousness as you're rising in chakra, more information, more knowledge, more wisdom comes in, right? And the light, you are growing in light. So the light is cleaning the vessel, your chakras. So you're growing more and more, you're becoming more illuminated, right? And then I got, then the lotus flower, and of course I had never studied Buddhism in this life, carnation dream or manifestation or whatever you want to call it, right? I hadn't studied Buddhism or any of those things. So I knew about the lotus flower. They talk about it. I thought it was just a pretty flower or emblem like something. I had no clue what the lotus flower meant or any of that sort of shit. So I still asked my friends on Facebook. So the next minute I got this beautiful lotus flower. Like this multicolored flippin' lotus flower came through my crown, and I was sitting on this beautiful, like multicolored lotus flower, and I thought it was a gift. So I still asked my friend, who also hasn't a freaking clue. So she was still here with the angelic thing. So my friend said, "Oh no," she tapped in. That's because she's doing reading. She that's a gift, for you achieved some level or whatever in the astral, whatever. So that was my gift. Now I'm thinking it's a gift like a present. None of us had a clue, so I was like, it's so funny. So I got the lotus petaled flower thing I was sitting on, and I was like, okay, that's a nice gift. It was pretty, it was really nice, whatever. That's why I say it's so funny. You go to these things, and then you go, oh, wow. And then you hit, when you consciously want to dismantle the ego, it is hard work, people. Wow. And you are going to be tested. Yeah, it is funny. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Half these things, you have the bloody clue what half these things are. You are tested. You see, what we see in the astral sometimes is not literal. That's human. We think everything we see is linear. We interpret it as linear, or whatever shadows you have. Remember, everyone's going to have a different interpretation depending on your perception, your level of consciousness, your shadows, your fractal, your type, unique energy of source. So you will interpret it slightly differently. See? Well, anyway, yeah, so shit. So yeah, you get tested. Wow. And then you want to purify the vessel. Then you start purifying. So you want to, it depends on your consciousness and what you seek as well. Remember, to try and be, so you got to be careful, because we tend to think, when we think of, I want to do this, that's the ego, the mind again. That's the human ego and mind you're thinking from. And that's the one that shouldn't be trying to tell the world, and I'm going to make the new earth, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to be the savior. That's ego again. And that's what Atlantis did, In the beginning in Atlantis, we had a high level of... When we dropped into play human earth game, we were not in physical bodies. We were in light bodies, actually. In the very beginning, we were in light bodies. We weren't in a physical. Then we started embodying into a physical. And then we started moving between a physical body, denser body, and we could move out into a light body. So we were coming in between, and then we stayed into it. We dropped again, and we started playing with the mind, and then we dropped into physical vessels, and then we started identifying separate from source, as Atlantis went in, first Atlantis, second, third, to ego. Ooh, big mistake. And that's when Atlantis collapsed, because now we were identifying as I am this thing, human body, ego, separate from source. Ego took over, so of course that's, arrogance, greed, all these kind of things, and we started, we went off with divine guidance, divine path, and, intentions weren't good, using them for the right things, and that was it. But it was also part of our lesson. And we just carried on going down and down and down into a dark, dense consciousness, to the lowest of the chakra. Basically, we've been in the darkest level of consciousness. Now we're coming out of it again, and we're going to go back into integrating them all, because now you have the human mind. We can use the analytical mind, but filtered. If it's all purified, it'll be fine. If it's working from a higher level of consciousness, just as a filtered, as a vessel, basically. Think of it as just a filter. If the filter's clean, you're good. If it's not, we're going to have some problems on the planet, aren't we? Or in this game, a reality game we're playing. So anyway, then you'll go, it's difficult. When you get past that level, you will get tested. Because then you're supposed to, what teachings tell you on human earth or whatever, disidentify. You will lose all interest in earthly things. So you won't identify with this, that's easy, that you're not this body. You're not frightened of losing the body, because you realize you are not the body. So you won't attach to the body. You've got to start, as you get up, you'll start detaching. So you can see everything in love, and you'll start seeing all beings as one. As Jesus said, right? We all part of the one. And you will start seeing that. You will start seeing everybody as divine, because all that you are seeing is source. So you, me, everything is part of the one of source. Everything is divine. This is why they say namaste. The God in me sees the God in you. Absolutely true. But you've got to work your way to that till you actually feel it and see it. So you understand everybody is divine. Nobody needs our help. They're all divine fractals of source. Don't attach to anything. It's very, very difficult. Very difficult. Because if you're still not a Buddha, and you're not in a monastery or doing anything else where you have a job, marriages and that, and people, they attach to you, right? So you can try and stay in a higher level of consciousness where you can love them from a high level of consciousness, not from a human, where it's mine, love, fear of losing, all that kind. That's human love. That's possession. That's ego again. It is difficult, people. And then you'll get to see the actual reality of what they call samadhi, the real truth. Yeah, that's a mind-blowing. It doesn't mean, we will get there. We will be able to anchor in that and hold in that, stay in that. So you're going to do this. And you're going to try not resist anything. Understand whatever happens to you, okay, that you're thinking is happening, right, around you. First of all, it's you. So what's your thoughts and mind, energy, consciousness, okay? And it's a test. It's a test. You're just being tested, all right? And it is for your highest good. So don't ever think it's bad. It's for you, has a purpose, and it is for your highest good. So don't think of anything as, it's dark, it's bad, it's this and that happening. No, it's all there for a divine reason, because Source is putting it there. So don't resist it. That's the best thing you can do. Oh, thank you, very nice. So nice of you to say. Oh, thank you. I don't know, that ego is, I get the frying pan out. Don't stoke that ego up, please. Good to do that. That's a terrible thing. That's a horrible thing, that ego. Wow. So there's so many. Yeah, you're welcome. There's so many different levels. Okay. But if you understand it is one simple thing. So when you start getting distracted and lost and frightened or stuck in this ET realm or wherever you are, right? Remember everything. There's only energy and consciousness. Now, what energy has no consciousness, so it's not going to be able to any use. You can't do anything with it. It's just there. The consciousness is the one that manifests or controls the energy. And this is what you're here to learn on earth, to control, to master your energy. The only way you can master your energy is mastering your consciousness. Because the thought, the consciousness, we use that to manifest, to control the energy. So if you see everything as energy and consciousness, just keep reminding myself, energy consciousness. All right. That's all it is. And you can master it, you can overcome it, you can, So yeah, we got to try. And it's a journey, it's a lesson, it's a wow. I can't tell. I'm not going to promise you that it's a, I need a charger. This thing's flat. I can't promise you. Oh, sorry, people. I think my tea's bloody cold as well. Just hang on, peeps. Oh, as I'm fluey, I can't say I'm exactly having a bit of fun. The body's not exactly feeling that wonderful. Can be a bit sore. And anyway, I'm getting to meditate a lot, which is lovely. I don't mind that one bit. So yeah, that's really where you're at, okay? Energy consciousness. All right. But in order for you to be able to get there, you have to overcome your fears, your shadows that the ego has taken on. Because once you identified as a human, right? So once you decide, oh, I'm this human, I'm a baby, I'm this, I'm that. And now you've been through because the ego takes it on. Abuse, trauma, programming. So it's me. You are still thinking, I am this, right? So you're identifying with the human, what happened to the human. So all that energy and nonsense, because you've chosen to believe it, it's your belief and it's your body and your whatever, you're identifying with all that trauma and energy and nonsense, okay? And this is what you've got to get rid of now. So you have to now get out of that, if you can try. Try and go from 0 to 100. I don't know. If you can try it like they do, Samadhi, just identify with everything. If you just identify with everything, you're gonna, you're there. Just drop it all because you're actually not this body and this any of it. But try and tell people that, you see, because now you're still in everyday life, and someone says something to you, and if you haven't worked through your shadow work and healing and clearing, you're going to get triggered because you're still I'm upset. No, the ego's upset. You are not a human. You are not this body. You are not this person that you think you are. You're identifying as the person, you see. It is not as easy, I can tell you, people. So those realms that you are at are so much easier. Wow, bloody easy. Very easy. Very. No, I'm going to do videos. There's a lot of lives I'm going to do. I'm waiting. I need someone to help, someone that's tech savvy, because listen, people, I'm basically bordering 60. That's it. I'm not a spring chicken anymore. And this new bloody Microsoft, I got a PC especially so I could live stream. Just for live stream. Purely a little PC I wanted to put Zoom on it so I could do Zoom, because a lot of people I can't come live with on TikTok because they don't have enough followers. So those people I want to do lives with, which are many, and I've done lives on other people's channels, unfortunately, or, Zooms on their channel recordings with other people's channels they wanted to, do interviews with. And then, or they lost it, or their channel went down, but it's on, and I can't get it onto my channel. So I especially got a small PC, and I got Zoom Pro, whatever, so I can now live stream straight to YouTube, interview people if I can't do it on here, if they haven't got enough followers or whatever on TikTok. I'm going to do it straight onto YouTube for everybody. Well, I'm going to go through a lot of things. I covered lots of things for people. And then their channel got taken down. All the stuff, I never got it. It was, oh my gosh. So yeah, I've got a laptop now. But unfortunately, this Windows 10 something or other, everything's changed from when I was there. Yeah, I'm not good with this. It's really not fun. So I got a Windows 10 something or other thing. And this comes automatically. You're only allowed to use Microsoft apps store on that. It won't let you download from anything else. It actually blocks you, the program, this Windows 10, whatever. So I can't even download. So it automatically came with Zoom Rooms, a free trial. I don't have Zoom Rooms. I've got Zoom Pro. I don't need Zoom Rooms. It's one app. And even if I uninstall the damn thing, you think I can get rid of it? Nope. And when I go back to the App Store, it doesn't give me any other options. He keeps taking you back to Zoom rooms. It doesn't take you to Zoom meetings. Oh my good Lord. I'm about to pull my hair out, people. We're in retrograde, so I'm not surprised. This is as I say, look at the alignments. Understand this is not a good time. Mercury retrograde, we're going to have fun with technology. Oh, you want to throw that computer out the window. Oh, it was funny. So yesterday I was effing and blinding. It was good on Facebook. I was like, people, but not angry, but for fun. I was on Facebook and thinking, oh my gosh, yeah, I need help. Bloody sure I do, because I'm past it. I mean, I went on to Zoom. Even I googled Zoom like you did in the old days. You could go to CNET and download, software or programs from anything. Not a chance. They've manipulated it. They've closed all avenues. So I tried to download Zoom. I deleted the Zoom rooms because it doesn't even work. It's just not even working anyway. Even if I log, it doesn't work. It just goes around. It's not connecting. Something wrong with it. Oh, there's something wrong with it. It's not working. Is that a fault on the app, the program, or something's wrong with it anyway? Oh, on my iPad, no problem. But then you don't have the storage. So if you want to record it, you can't back it up. There's no storage. USB for the iPad, you see. So I especially got a little PC purely to live stream. That was it. And now I'm pulling my hair out because I can't get Zoom to work on it. That was hilarious. And I go to Zoom itself. It was so funny. I was effing yesterday. Just sorry, people, but it's a very expressive word, the F word, isn't it? Can be fun to get it out, that energy out. It was funny. So I went on there and it says, no, sorry, this computer has Windows, Microsoft apps on you. You need to go to Microsoft apps to download Zoom. It would not allow me to download from Zoom, the M website, the Zoom meetings or whatever. It keeps wanting to do Zoom rooms. And so I reinstall it now it wants to sync. Why the hell? I mean, I didn't want to go into it. I went into this on Facebook. I was like, oh, this is just absolutely ridiculous. I've never heard of such nonsense. So I need 2 computers to do a live. I mean, what nonsense. Good grief. So yeah, people, I'm trying to get it sorted out, and I will be doing interviews with people. And I did for those people starting off, right? The people that are starting off and fighting and having problems with dark energies and attacks and what they want to call demonic attacks or psychic attacks. I did a thing with a very good reader and healer. We did a whole thing purposely months ago. I did a whole thing on how to protect yourself in that stage. We covered a very good thing on protection. Guess what? She does healings and readings, and she uploaded healings and readings that she did for people. And some of them are very sensitive. I don't think they liked people, some of these things being done, shared. And they removed her channel. And of course, because I didn't have the Zoom thing, all my interviews were done on their channels. So if I can't get it to my channel, or they have it removed, so now it's uploaded on their YouTube, but then, people don't feel like going to hunt over there and there and there. They want, so that's why I did one channel I did a YouTube purposely. For everybody that missed the lives, I could upload them to YouTube. For those that weren't able to, get it. Yeah, it was such a pity. I was so frustrated. So this is why I decided I'm not going to go on other people. So every time I interview someone, it's on their channel, this channel, that channel. I want everything in one place. So I got this stupid little PC, which I can't get Zoom rooms on or even to work on this damn thing. Oh my, yeah, no, wow. So I'm going to find someone who's tech savvy and the Zoom nonsense with the new Windows 10, and I'll give them, say, TeamViewer, and they can access my PC and blow it up. I said, okay, what are they going to do with it? I don't know. Oh, God. It's manipulative. I mean, it's so ridiculous. It's absolutely manipulative. There's so many different versions of Zoom. It will only give you Zoom rooms. Sorry, it doesn't even pull up on the App Store another option. That's manipulation. So they're trying to force you to buy a Zoom, to pay for Zoom rooms instead of Zoom Pro. I don't need Zoom rooms. I don't want to be a controller. This is a controller app. So when I even started it up, it's telling me, oh, you need to sync with the other device or Mac or PC. And I'm like, why do I have to have 2 devices on just to live stream someone? It's only me. And then it just goes around and round and nothing's happening. It's not connecting. I'm like, oh. Anyway, lovely people. I thought I'll share that with you. You don't need the rest of my rant about the damn computer nonsense. But I was going to do this, and that's because I really wanted to help people. So many people are seeking the advice and things, They want to know what it's like, and they're going through the stuff they don't know. So I actually was guided to start this TikTok for people, to help people, actually. And trust me, I wouldn't be on here otherwise. I knew nothing about TikTok. I'm at 60. Who was going to be on it? I didn't even know people my age were even on TikTok. I was like, nah, But I saw there was so much misleading and confusing information because they're at that. So I did that, as I say. But then it's futile if I can't put it onto one place. So I will try, and I'd like to do as many lovely people on here. I've seen there's lots of good content and lovely people I've found on TikTok. Like anything, you can be use technology for good or bad. People, right? It's your consciousness, that's all it is. So TikTok can be a great platform to help. I mean, why? It's the biggest platform now. I found out, I didn't even know that. It was the most used platform. But I mean, I haven't cleared these things. I don't follow any of these things. So yeah, you can reach. So it can be used. And there are many people on TikTok sharing good content, positive content, helping people, all kinds of things. And people, I see some and I think, oh, wow, they're really lovely. I'd love to talk to them. So this is what I want to do. This is why I want to do it now. There's many people I want to interview and do lives with and talk to. They have lovely information, because all of us have different gifts and skills, because we've got different Akash, different records, we're all different parts of source. We all contain, it's perfect. As a whole, we make up this beautiful whole one consciousness and energy. As fractals, we're all this beautiful individual fractals. We all got our unique energy signature. But we all make up the whole. So we all absolutely divine and perfect and have a role. So there's some beautiful people on here, and they've got lovely content and good knowledge and wisdom. Different. I want to share with people, So I can say, hey, people, here's a lovely person, and then you can look it out. If it resonates with you, you follow them. See, whatever you're needing at the time, whether it's information on health, whether it's this, whether it's afterlife, whatever. This is what I want to do. Absolutely. I am planning on doing it. I just need to get the Zoom nonsense sorted out on the computer, and then I'm A for away. Then I can, do the lives on YouTube if they can't do it on TikTok. And they're good people, some people. Just nobody knows about them. They haven't got any followers on here, you see. That's a problem. So yeah, they've got very good information or unique, lovely energy. Wow, well, lovely. So there is a lot of good content, good people, good energy. You can see it's rising. I mean, this shift has grown in 1 year. You can see the level of consciousness and the amount of people that are waking up. Wow, it's exponential. In the last year, since 2020, when Earth started her ascension, her actual ascension, or her birth, whatever the Earth. I mean, wow, that was you just saw it like this. It's just shot. The amount of people waking up now. Back then, there was only a few of us, and I thought, oh, shit, this is going to be fun. Because, you were like shouting at the rooftops, and there were so few people that were, And then all of a sudden, I mean, it's flooded. The internet and even TikTok is flooded with people. E.T., I'm Reiki and channeling and tarot cards, and I mean, they're everywhere. So it's bloody awesome. You can see, it's out there. You're watching it. It wasn't mainstream. People weren't aware, of all these things. It's spreading. So that consciousness because we do, that's as one of us wakes up, that unified wave or field goes out to the collective. So the more of us holding a higher level of consciousness are shifting the planet. Take note of the Schumann resonance and everything else. That is connected to human consciousness. As human consciousness raises, so does the Schumann resonance people. That's where it is. Our consciousness is impacting the Schumann resonance. If you want to know how many people are awake on the level of consciousness on the planet, watch the Schumann resonance. The solar flares are a different ballgame. Yeah, that's helping Gaia and us. That's our DNA and changing the vessel and bringing it's playing a role. Yeah, absolute role on the planet. All playing a role. Everything's perfect. No, nothing's an accident here. No, you're not allowed to. I've got a Windows 10 something or other, whatever program, right? The latest, whatever, Windows 10 something or other. Got this thing last year. It doesn't allow you to download from Zoom. So I went to the website, absolutely, paid for Zoom Pro. That was fine for me because it's live stream. It can do that. That's all I needed. And exactly, you think you can download it because I had this Zoom Rooms. I didn't want Zoom Rooms. It's controlling. Zoom Rooms is a controller app or some nonsense. And it must sync with another PC. I don't need to sync anything. So, yeah, I deleted that. And when I went onto the Microsoft App Store on my computer, it doesn't, when you type in Zoom, it only gives you Zoom Rooms and some screensaver thing. That's it. So I thought, okay, well, this hasn't got everything. Bugger that. I'll go to Zoom. I went to zoom.com, paid for it, and wanted to download it. And it popped up and says, oh, no, this computer has Microsoft App Store. You need to get the app from Microsoft App Store. It does not give you an option to download. And even when you load the computer, it tells you, this is a software now. When you start up a brand new PC, it tells you you are only able, with the licensing, they've licensed it like that, to download from Microsoft apps. It's manipulating, so it's controlling the market. It will not allow you to do downloads from any other source except from Microsoft App Store. That's absolute manipulation of the market and dominance. So every other business, every other download place will be shut down and lose business. They'll be run out of business. So it'll be dominated by one Microsoft, that's it. Or by Apple or whatever. Yeah, it's terrible. No, not on the version I've got. When you start the computer, it tells you. That's what I'm saying. I need someone who's tech savvy, these young people, and knows Zoom, or how I can even fix this thing as it bloody works. I've got this stupid Zoom. It's a free Zoom Rooms. It doesn't even work though. I can sync it to the iPad, but never mind, people. Yeah, I need a tech person, do I? Not absolutely, I do. Here's TeamViewer. Please get into this damn thing and erase it. Do something with it, yeah. Exactly, yeah. You need someone who's tech savvy. And I'm at my age, no, not. I didn't even have the damn things when I was little. I remember my mother first got the first computer. It had a disc, it was like a plastic disc. I used to it was an Apple. She got an Apple computer. In those days, it had like a square disc hard drive, and it made such a noise. It was like a wash. It was hilarious. Those were the old computers, people. That's showing a bit of my age here. And cell phones didn't exist. One of my friends was one of the first cell phone reps. I thought, what's he doing with this nonsense? They were like bricks. He was selling phone cars. It was, first of all, phone cars. That was the end thing. Ooh, you have this phone in your car. Ooh. And then it was these mobile phones that were like bricks with an aerial. It was like a radio, really. So there we are. And I was actually nifty with that thing. I could do my downloads and read, and I've even got those things to read your hard drives, pull them out of old PCs and read them. But this thing manipulates you. It's pushing you can only get that. That's So of course after 30 days, then what? Now you want to get rid of the thing, and you won't be able to use Zoom, or you have to pay for Zoom Rooms. So it's manipulating you to buy that version, or you just be screwed. Not very nice, is it? Yeah, I don't like manipulation and control. That's very 3D. That's a low level of consciousness. But that's, where unfortunately a lot of our people in charge, calling the shots and whatever else, are at a very, in the ego. Oh, very in the ego. It's because it's you after goods, money, possession. They are very in the low level of consciousness and ego. And that's the majority, and that's our businesses, that's our leaders, oh my gosh. Yeah. So there we are. We know we'll get there. It's a matter of time. So any questions? Anybody got questions about their Ascension journey that I can try and answer for you? But I'm sad because people did ask me back then, and I did 1 or 2 interviews for them. But it was on other people's channels, you see. And then unfortunately, I even gave her my thing to log in so she could upload the interview for protection. I especially promised people, and I did it. I was so frustrated. And for weeks we tried to. I gave her my login to Google so she could upload it to YouTube, to my YouTube for the people. She couldn't get it right. of course, we had so many problems because now it's recognizing her from a different country and trying to log into my Google or my YouTube. And we had lots of fun. And then they took her channel down. So I lost everything. So, oh boy, we had fun. Yeah, that's what, it depends on where you angle. If you're in this, the general awakening path, it's angelic number. 111 is angelic number. Yeah. Some people are seeing 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, or just synchronicity, like just repeating numbers, repetitive numbers, or the same, twos, or this and that. So yeah, but you can also go and look. There's different versions of numerology. So you can go to the oldest one. Probably the best is always go to the oldest one. Just one alone. Yeah, it depends how you look at it. You see, double one. Go look at the meaning of double one. 3 ones. It's 3. Add them together. It's 3. If you put them as alone, one, new beginning. So yeah, there's so many. Follow it. Thank you. Yeah, no, it depends what you're trying to sell. This middleman and this whole thing is going to disappear. Yeah. If it's online, absolutely, that's the future. Everything's online. They're trying to do that and manipulate, one way or another, push people on. So everything's online. If you're trying to sell something that's part of the old world, like financial systems, forex, manipulation, whatever. If it's not sitting right in your heart, you don't believe in it. If it's not going to benefit people, I wouldn't suggest, that's not the way the world's going. You can still pull off a bit, but yeah, in that kind of sales, I wouldn't do that. Yeah. So if it's organic stuff, things that you resonate with, believe in, go in, it's good, things like that, coming, yeah, but you will know, feel it. If it's not in line with you and your integrity, I wouldn't do it. Feel you've got to, if you're in line with your belief and your integrity, you're okay. You don't have to worry about other people think and believe. It's you. That's very important. People keep looking for other people for validation. Should I, shouldn't I? You, in your integrity, in your heart, if you are doing it right, from your perception, my heart is true, pure, my integrity is right, you are 100% okay. And you will not bring anything wrong to you or bad karma or any, you're in alignment then. You're good. But if you try and go against what you know is right or something you know is wrong, you feel, it's not it's not going to go well. Especially in the new energy, the new earth, which we are right in it. We are birthing it right now. Have a look at the poor planet. She's going through fun. People are complaining what we're going through physically and feeling and shedding and healing and crying and upgrades and whatever. The poor earth. She's birthing a new earth. I mean, Gaia is as well, right in the middle of her ascension and shift. Poor Gaia, the planet, she's really taking strain. The sun is helping. The sun's an amazing being from that perspective, if you're still here. The sun, if you tap into the sun and communicate with the sun as a being, as a single consciousness, an amazing consciousness, wow, an amazing history, and incredible, interesting beings that live in the center of the sun. So probably we were one. Say at the beginning of times, right? The early stages, before Earth was formed and all these, the sun was there. Now, I don't know how far sun goes back, but we go back from the beginning of time, beginning of creation, because if you're part of Source, you always were. There's just, who knows? No one knows when everything started. When creation started, nobody knows. Don't ask me. I haven't found that one, I can't tell you. I know Earth, I was told 200,000 years when I tapped in to ask. This human, this avatar we're playing now, 200,000 years. But the sun, wow. The sun is fascinating to communicate with. And the history, if you tap into the sun, and the beings living in the center of the sun, never mind the rest on the top. Wow, bloody busy place. Amazing energy, not hot, it's frequency. There's no heat from the sun. It isn't heat, it's frequency. But it's at a high frequency and light. Frequency and vibration vary. The sun is helping in this process because remember, everything's connected. So obviously I was maybe a being It lived on the sun once upon a time. The sun was now this is interesting. I can tell you a bit of a story through my astrals and trips. The sun was a planet. Before it was a sun, and before it got hot like it was now, it was interesting because I had a whole thing with the sun more than once. The sun gave me a lot of information, tapping into the sun, the consciousness of the sun as a being, as a thing, as a consciousness, right? Whatever you just say, it's a consciousness. Fascinating, the history of the sun. Wow, it wasn't good. So they went through their evolution process billions of years ago and had their wars. Oh yes, that planet had wars and shit and blown up and this and that and whatever else. Basically annihilated itself, and then it got hotter and hotter, light, frequency up. It turned into a sun. But before the sun was an actual sun, it was a planet. Yeah, amazing. And the beings that live in the center of the sun, there were 6 of them that I saw, that I communicated with, that are not in a physical dense body. They're in a light body, but the same color as the sun. So later on, I communicated with beings that live right in the center of the sun, not on top of the sun, like it's a portal now, and it looks like it's a portal, basically. The sun is a portal, and there are tons of other extraterrestrials in and out, and ships, and it's a busy bloody place. Shit. On the surface, it's busy. Inside the sun, in the core of the sun, there are 6 beings, consciousnesses that chose to stay there. Whatever, who knows? We were obviously playing those things once. Maybe I was. That's why I went there. I don't know. And I got shown the whole history of the sun. And then what happened? So when you think Earth is bad, no. We've done this before on many planets. Oh, shit, this evolution game. We just had different bodies, different shapes. But we played this evolutionary game before. Oh, yes, we've done it. And boy, did we go through wars and genocide and shit. Oh, bloody hell. And annihilated planets. I mean, we've annihilated them. Look at Mars. That was a war of note. People will tell you that can remember, the Lyrans. So, anyway, shit, yeah. So, yeah, this is, And then we decided to play human, it's got, I suppose, boring. So we got a different planet. Let's play human. Let's make a different kind of planet and different looking beings. And there we are. And we did. And a lot of us, that's why you remember, a lot of us came in from different previous planets before we chose consciousnesses, games, to play Earth game. Yeah, amazing. I'm not sure. Cryon tells you. Cryon channels that. Yeah, I think New Zealand, definitely Hawaii. Yeah, Hawaii was massive. That's just the peak, a little bit sticking out. Hawaii, and I think New Zealand, was part of Lemuria. Yeah, Atlantis, so that was another story. I was involved there. A lot of people I know were involved there, can remember. Not everyone had, but somewhere in the Atlantis stage, which was thousands of years, because we had the first level of Atlantis, and then we got lower and worse until we completely cocked it up. And we were really in complete ego and bad. We went in a high divine, Yeah, Atlantis, yeah. Yes, apparently I was, never mind. In human mythology, if you go into the human mythology right now on the planet, that's Greek from, let's say textbooks. That doesn't even go far. So I would be skeptical. Understand, people. We dropped into a very low level of consciousness, like prehistoric. We went backwards, right? To really being dumb Stone Age idiots, right? So this is, and you can't say much about it. So our books like Plato and our stories and myths passed down, don't take them, take everything with don't take it as your truth. Listen to it, take some in, okay, yeah. But don't say, oh, that's it, that is the truth. I don't know. That's what I say. So all we've got is the Greek god stories like Poseidon and Zeus, and these were the, whatever, myths, all right? And if you tap, you'll see them, they're all quite similar. So now Poseidon was apparently the first, of Atlantis. And then his son Atlas was the first king of Atlantis. Now, I was Poseidon. Don't hold it against me. My friend in this life, who we connected in this life through the same thing, her being Atlas, me being Poseidon, and sharing some other things and doing work, it's coming useful in this life too. Poseidon came to help me once or twice, as a dream. This is the past dreams, past consciousnesses. Right, you're just remembering. So I was Poseidon, and my friend was Atlas. My son was the first king of, and funny enough, we met in this carnation when we both woke up, and we both had these dreams of Poseidon and Atlas, and we got together. We had to do something. We had to do some work to help Gaia. And she's in Australia, and I'm in England. We didn't know each other at all. We'd never met before our awakening, and we were drawn to each other when we were awake. Divine guidance, as you are. And we connected, and it turns out bingo. And she was telling me, and I had this thing about Poseidon, and she had this thing, and we were like, we started talking, and we're like, oh wow, we put all the dots. Anyway, we had to do some work on Earth. Interesting. It was fascinating. So if you look at the mythology, I was responsible for sinking Atlantis because they were naughty. Who knows? I don't have a clue. I don't know. If I remember and whether half those things are true, if it was a physical being or even a human, all I can tell you is what I remember is before little humans like now, the first beings Caucasians, right? Caucasian beings were big. We're like giants, okay? We weren't little people. So we weren't small Caucasian people. So what I can see, we won't remember that, is when I've seen Poseidon appeared and came above me, if I can manifest it above me, last year or something, it was bloody enormous. I mean, wow, not small. So I had this Greek god thing standing above me like 2-story building. No joke. I mean, I'm like, and you are? Yeah. Thank you, but and why and who are you? So there was this, when Poseidon, I was told of Poseidon, when Poseidon was young, he was very good looking, bloody huge being, like this Greek-looking god thing, whatever. But that's also consciousness, I tell you, who knows. But not that I could even have imagined it, because I was like, this thing appeared above me, and I was like, and you are who? Kept appearing, and then I was told Poseidon. I thought, well, I didn't even know much about it, because I didn't study it when I was growing up. I didn't study Greek mythology, so I didn't besides, a movie or something. You heard about Poseidon, but I really didn't know anything about Poseidon. So I'm thinking, why are they showing me Poseidon? And I was like, okay, well, so who's Poseidon? And I was like, you. I was like, oh, okay, well, who the hell is Poseidon? And I want to know a bit more. So yeah, when this thing appeared in my consciousness, it was, massive. Wow, it was a man. I look up, this being stood above me, protecting me. Was like 2 stories, like literally. This massive, strong, beautiful, bloody looking human, like a god, like divine, like I call the gods, because we weren't exactly human, as we know, we intermixed with the actual humans on the planet. So they say the gods, mixed or bred, whatever, with the indigenous people. Yeah, they did. Absolutely, they did. Yeah. This is sort of offspring. That's where we are now. We're the offspring of those. Anyway, here or there, it doesn't matter. It's just another illusion. It's another manifestation, a dream we lived once upon a time. We went back there. So I didn't exactly shout it from the rooftops, because in mythology, and I did see a few visions. I was like, okay, well, I don't want to tell everybody that because they're going to hate me. If I was accused of sinking Atlantis. But Atlantis became very, people go back. Atlantis became very dark. Because they got into ego. Okay, it's all shadows. No, it's no Nephilim. But this is what I'm saying. Every so-called human history, right? In history or books that you read, written by humans, take it as a pinch of salt. It's metaphysical. It's not actual, literal, and 3D. They translated it with a twist. It's not the story like you think it is. No. Has an esoteric hidden meaning behind it. Anyway, you will find out. Yeah. No, you can't say you liked it. You don't remember. That's what I'm saying. It depends where you were at Atlantis, what stage you were at Atlantis. If you were at the end of Atlantis, it was sucked. At the beginning of it, it was very high consciousness, in divine alignment. You see, but this is an experiment. As humans, we all chose to play this game. These are different levels we chose to play. Right? So we had just the soul. Then we invented the ego. So we dropped into a body and a separate identity. This is why. To experience density, to experience 3D, you couldn't do it without the body and the ego. So we had to drop into it. All of you are part of God's source. All of you willingly chose to be here. You are projecting your consciousness here. You are part of the game. You chose to be here. You are not a trap. There's no such thing as a soul trap. It's a lot of nonsense. And a planet trap, it's a lot of all that. Yeah, that's ego illusion as well. If there's only energy and consciousness, nothing can trap you, because your consciousness controls your energy, which it can have any form at once. There we are. But that's a whole nother story. I did make a talk about this prison planet nonsense that's going around. Explain that. And if you think carefully and logically, you will realize actually it's a lot of rubbish. Exactly. It's more another dark thing. It's another fear. It's another paranoia, ego thing. Nope. Human mind has, ego. Ego thinks it's so wonderful and powerful and great. Oh my goodness, it's hilarious. It has no power. None whatsoever. It disappears. Yeah, that's not the eternal part. You have to worry about. Okay, people, my voice is going. So I shall call it a day for tonight. And I hope I could help anybody. Yeah. Yes, you can. You can access, you can choose to access skills, talents, and attributes that you've had from previous dreams, or if you want to say carnations, or if you believe you're a body and you come into this thing, right, whatever. Carnations or dreams, right? You can choose to tap in, because remember, you're part of Source, collective consciousness. Tap into the collective consciousness, download or mine your cache, your DNA as well, for all useful, that will be useful to you for the greatest good, not for a selfish reason as well, you and the collective. Go and mine your Akashic records and all of this for all your talents and skills, because you have plenty in there, people. I mean, if I've been a few things like being a Poseidon, you've been have all had a chance at playing a king, a queen, a leader, or this or that, or everything. If you need confidence or whatever you're lacking, go and mine for that. Go and pull that self-confidence when you were a king, when you needed strength or power or whatever you're lacking. Go and mine it. That's on your that'll help you, okay, on your stage going up. You're welcome. But I do have empathy for people that are on the lower things, because it is frightening. I mean, wow, it's bloody frightening when you progress past the human darkness and you actually start seeing. Then you, as you say, you've got to now fight all these dark things, beings, entities, whatever you want to call them, attachments, and oh my gosh, and ET's got attachment here, and that implants, and and psychic attacks, and it's bloody not fun when you go through that whole nonsense. You've got to. And some people just, never leave it. That's also good. That's their choice. Maybe the next life. So for this life, it's fun. Maybe they want to play that, who knows. But there's a lot of, and people don't tell you that. It's stages. So be discerning when you see things in the astral or gifts like that sword. Because otherwise I would be still fighting this demon nonsense. I would never progress past that. I would have stayed there. Because I'm choosing to fight. I'm choosing to believe and buy into. There's no duality. Dark, light, us and them, that's a lower consciousness, people. There isn't. But anyway, that's, as I say, it's all good. When you're there, you're there. Okay. So yeah, it's I know it's fun, isn't it? It's fun. It's part of your growing up and your evolution and your, we've got to clear up all the rubbish that we took on in all these lifetimes and dreams and falling in consciousness from that time. Yeah. A lot of work. All right, beautiful people. Love you lots. Have a wonderful evening, morning, day, wherever you are. And I shall be back. I'm trying to get better. Hope and get my voice back. And then I'll be on lives, absolutely. And share as much useful stuff as I can to help people, because I do understand there are people at this level like are just waking up and are very frightened and the cabal and this one and that one and that one. They're in they're in that fear, illusion, dark. They haven't they're not understanding as within so without, and a lot of explaining needing, because we don't have a personal guru, we don't have our own little yogi running around teaching us, and This is guarded esoteric knowledge. You know, they were only privileged to a few in those days, like the SEAM schools. Now, all of us are thrown out in there without any teachers. It's like, oh my hell. So a lot of us need help and guidance. So I'm going to try absolutely to give you that in different videos and stages, see? Because everybody's at different levels. All right. And there's many people out there, and I will share that with you. So some of you will resonate with those people depending on the level you're at. Oh, then you can follow this one for readings and that one for, you know, your ET things and your clearing and your protections and your... Okay. All is good. But only remember, everything is energy and consciousness. That is it. There is nothing else. So make sure you control your consciousness. So you will have, that's it, and you can have a fantastic... All right. But you've got to fight your own shadows. You've got to dismantle, purify that, and get rid of the ego and purify it. And that is a journey on its own. And I'm still, because once you get to the lotus throne, before you can stabilize or stay in samadhi where you've completely, what they call free, right? Where you've got your complete freedom from reincarnation and this and that and attachment to the physical, whatever. That's no fun. That's no fun. Because you really get tested. Wow, you get tested because now they're testing you to see because you want to hang on to any earthly, whatever. Don't give up, okay, people? Do not give up. Yes, everyone's will. You got many of them. Don't fight it. If you're exhausted, your energy is low, you're in the mind. You see, you're in the ego. You have no energy. Okay, that's why you get exhausted because you're in the mind, in the shadow. As you rise and ask for healing and ask for clearing and ask for light, and if you're there, ask for the angels to help you because you're still there. Ask for light beings for your highest good. Okay, you're still there, that'll help you. Ask for that, okay? All right, beautiful people. Speak soon. Love you lots. Bye.